Well, we're all set.
Stop here. Turn, face the floor. Just where you went.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Come up. All the others.
Good afternoon. Hi. There's been a motion that I've allowed that only allows witnesses to be in the courtroom when testifying until the evidence part of the trial is over. And witnesses can't talk about their testimony with other witnesses until the evidentiary portion of the trial is over. Thank you. Ms. Woodard, please.
Good morning. Could you please introduce yourself to the jurors, spelling your first and last name?
My name is Carolyn Quigley, Carolyn. Last name is Quigley.
Ms. Quigley, what town do you live in?
I live in Danvers.
And do you have any children?
I do. I have 4.
And can you please tell us their names and ages?
Erin is 17, Emma is 15, Duncan and Patrick are 13.
And back in October of 2013, did any of them attend Danvers High School?
My oldest, Erin, did.
And how old was she at the time of October of 2013?
She was 15.
And what grade was she in?
She was a sophomore, 10th grade.
How did Erin typically get to school?
She took the bus most days.
And did that include going to school and coming home?
Yes, frequently she would stay after school and I would have to pick her up.
And how would that be arranged? Would that be arranged in the morning or later in the day?
Later in the day she would call me.
On Tuesday, October 22nd, 2013, do you recall how Erin got home that day from school?
She had stayed after school. She called me to come pick her up.
And do you recall approximately what time you picked her up?
It was about 3:10 in the afternoon.
And when you would pick her up, did you have a specific place that the two of you arranged at the school where you would pick her up?
Yeah, I would typically pick her up in the driveway where parents do drop-offs.
And is that where you met her that day?
Yes.
While you were waiting for Erin, were you parked in a parking space or alongside the road?
I was alongside the school in the driveway.
And did anything catch your attention while you were waiting for Erin?
Yes, I saw a boy in the bushes who was crouched. He was looking around like he was looking to see if anyone was looking at him. He looked like he was changing, stood up, pulled a shirt down, pulled pants, kind of adjusted pants, put a belt on. And then he picked up a bundle and put it in. There's an L in that area, and he picked that bundle up and put it in that corner.
And when you were watching him, what angle were you viewing him from?
He was to the side.
Okay, so you were looking at the side of him.
Yes.
And were you watching this from inside your car?
Yes.
Did you know this male individual?
No.
May I approach this witness, Your Honor?
Sure, Ms. Woodard.
Ms. Quigley, I'm showing you 2 photographs. Just ask you to take a look at those for a minute and look up when you're done.
Okay.
Do you recognize what those photos depict?
They're the high school, Danvers High School.
Okay. And are those what are commonly referred to as aerial photographs?
Yes.
Okay. And then looking at both of those photographs, do those photographs accurately depict the school buildings and parking lots of Danvers High School as they appeared on October 22nd, 2013?
Yes.
I would ask that these be marked as the next exhibits. No objection.
Submitted.
Aerial view is 52.
Exhibit 53. May I publish these, Your Honor?
You may.
Ms. Quigley, looking at what's been marked as Exhibit 52, I'm going to ask you to use this pointer and show us where, oh, there's one actually right in front of you. I'm sorry, let me make sure it's on. Just press that green button. You could show us where exactly your car was parked on that day?
I was right here.
Okay. And you said before past the circle, but before the door.
Correct.
And the area that you said that you saw the male individual, can you point that out, please?
It was in here, behind the tree, between the building and the trees and bushes.
Okay. And after you saw that individual do what appeared to be changing and then put a bundle in those bushes, where did you see him go?
He went, he came out and then went into what was then the main entrance, which was this. So he ran down the sidewalk and into that entrance.
Okay. And when he ran down the sidewalk, did he pass right by your vehicle?
He would have, yes.
And was anybody else in the car with you that day?
My daughter Emma was in the car with me.
Okay. And can you describe where each of you were positioned in the car?
I was in the driver's seat. She was in the front passenger seat.
Ms. Quigley, I'm showing you another photograph that has a time and a date stamp on the bottom of October 22nd, 2013 at 3:09 p.m. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's my car.
Okay. And can you tell who is sitting in the front passenger seat of that car?
That's my daughter.
Okay. And is it fair to say that is a photograph of you and your daughter that afternoon waiting for Aaron to come out?
Yes.
If I could have that marked as the next exhibit. No objection.
Be exhibit 54.
Yeah. With permission of the court, I'd like to publish it.
It may be published.
Today, how do you take a look at what's been marked as exhibit 53? This is a photograph that you looked at earlier in your testimony. You mentioned that there was a slight L where you saw the gentleman place the bundle.
Yes.
Can you describe and point on this photograph where that is?
This L right here. So he would have been here when I first saw him. When he picked up the bundle, he put the bundle directly in the corner.
Okay. And you said he picked it up and then he put it down in that corner?
Yes.
Okay. And that's right where the two corners of the building meet?
Yes.
Ms. Quigley, later that evening, did you learn about a 14-year-old boy from Danvers High School who was reported missing?
Yes, I did.
And how did you find out about that?
My older daughter told me.
And did she tell you where she had learned that information?
She saw it on Twitter.
And did she show you any tweets that she had seen on Twitter?
She showed me the tweet from the Danvers police.
And when you saw that tweet, do you remember the information that it contained?
That there was a boy from the high school that was missing.
And were there any photographs attached to that tweet?
Yes, there was.
And what was the photograph of? Ms. Quigley, returning to that tweet that you saw from your daughter, Erin, you mentioned that there was a photograph attached to it. Is that correct?
Yes.
And do you recall what that photograph depicted?
It depicted a boy by the name of Philip Chism.
Ms. Quigley, I'm showing you a document. If you could take a look at it and look up when you're done. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What do you recognize it to be?
I recognize it as the tweet that I saw that night.
Okay. And when you saw the tweet that evening with that photograph attached, did you have any reaction to it?
Yes, we both recognized it as the boy that I had seen at the school that day.
Okay. When you say the boy you had seen at the school that day, was this the boy that you had seen in that L-shaped area with the bushes?
Correct.
If I could have that marked as an exhibit. No objection.
Minute.
Exhibit 55, so marked.
I have permission of the court to publish it. What did you do after you saw that tweet?
Short discussion with my husband about what I should do, and then I called the Danvers police to let them know that I had seen him that day in the bushes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
I have no questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next witness, please.
Commonwealth calls Vinicio Pimentel. And this witness.
And nothing but the truth to help you God?
Sí.
Yes.
You may be seated.
Puede pasar a sentarse.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're great.
Good afternoon, sir.
For a moment.
Tiene que ver al próximo.
Sir, there's a requirement that I've had for witnesses in the case that until all the evidence is over, witnesses can only be in the courtroom when they're testifying. They can't talk about their testimony with other witnesses, or let other witnesses talk about their testimony with you. Do you understand that, sir?
¿Me entiende?
Correcto.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ya puede ver.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you please introduce yourself to the jurors, spelling your first and last name?
Señor, preséntese al jurado deletreando su primer nombre y su apellido, por favor.
Mi nombre es Vinicio Euclides Pimentel Quiroz.
My name is Vinicio Euclides Pimentel Quiroz.
And how do you spell Vinicio?
¿Cómo se escribe el Vinicio?
B-I Vinicio.
Vinicio.
And how do you spell your last name of Pimentel?
¿Y cómo se deletrea Pimentel?
Pimentel.
Mr.
Pimentel.
Mr. Pimentel, where do you work?
¿Dónde trabaja usted, señor Pimentel?
Tengo dos trabajos.
I have 2 jobs.
And what are those 2 jobs?
¿Cuáles son esos 2 trabajos?
JCPenney y Highland School.
I work at JCPenney's and Highland School.
And what do you do for the Highland School?
¿De qué trabaja en el Highland School?
Supervisor de limpieza.
I am the supervisor of the cleaning.
And is that done directly through the Highland School, or do you work for another company that they contract with?
¿Y eso lo hace directamente bajo contrato con la escuela o con otra compañía a quienes ellos
Con una
contratan?
compañía de limpieza.
It's through a cleaning company.
And what is that cleaning company's name?
¿Cómo se llama esa compañía?
SJ Service.
S&J Services.
And how long have you worked for S&J Services?
¿Y cuánto tiempo ha trabajado para S&J?
4 años.
4 years.
So did you work for them back in October of 2013?
Estaba trabajando para ellos en octubre del 2013.
Correcto.
Correct.
And back in October of 2013, did you do cleaning for them as well?
¿Y en octubre del 2013 usted limpiaba para ellos?
Correcto.
Correct.
And were you assigned to a specific building at that time?
¿Y estaba usted asignado a un edificio en particular en ese tiempo?
Sí, a una escuela.
Yes, to a school.
And what school was that?
¿A qué escuela?
La High School de Danvers.
Danvers High School.
And how long had you been cleaning at Danvers High School through S&J Services back in October of 2013?
Y en octubre del 2013, ¿cuánto tiempo tenía de estar limpiando en la Escuela Superior de Danvers a través de S&J Services?
Aproximadamente como 1 año y medio.
Approximately a year and a half.
And did you do that on your own, or did you have a team of cleaners that worked with you?
¿Y usted hacía esto por sí solo o tenía un equipo que trabajaba para usted?
Tenía un equipo.
I had a team.
And how many people were on that team?
¿Y cuánta gente formaba parte de ese equipo?
Como 7.
About 7.
And what was your role with respect to that team?
¿Y cuál era su papel en ese equipo?
El mío,
Mine?
Correct.
Correcto.
supervisar el trabajo de cada uno y hacer mi trabajo aparte.
I had to supervise each of their jobs and do my own job.
I'd like to turn your attention back to that specific day of October 22nd, 2013. And that's the day of the incident that brings you into court today.
Quiero dirigir su atención al 22 de octubre del 2013 por el incidente que usted está aquí el día de hoy.
What time did you and your team arrive at Danvers High School on that day?
¿A qué horas llegaron usted y su equipo a la Escuela Superior de Danvers ese día?
Como 4:45 de la tarde.
About 4:45 in the afternoon.
And was that your normal time to arrive?
¿Esa era su hora normal de llegada?
La hora normal era a las 5 de la tarde.
The normal time was 5 o'clock.
And is there a particular area of the school that you and your team are responsible for cleaning?
¿Y hay un área en particular de la escuela que usted y su equipo eran responsables de limpiar?
La escuela completa.
The whole high school.
Does that include the classrooms?
¿Eso incluía las aulas?
Yo no las aulas, pero los empleados sí.
I did not clean the classrooms, but my workers did.
Okay. Does that include the hallways outside of the classroom?
¿Eso incluía los pasillos fuera de las aulas?
Correcto.
Correct.
Does that include the bathrooms?
¿Eso incluía los baños?
Los empleados, yo no.
The workers, not me.
Okay. And do your workers, are they responsible for cleaning the gym and the locker rooms as well?
¿Y sus empleados también limpian el área del gimnasio y de los lockers?
Cuando eso no.
At that time, no.
Okay. So were you and your workers limited to the area of the classrooms and the hallways outside of those classrooms and the bathrooms in that area?
Su equipo y usted estaban limitados al área de las aulas, los pasillos y los baños de esa área.
Eso sí hacíamos.
¿Perdón?
Que eso sí lo hacíamos.
Yes, that's what we did.
At some point after arriving on October 22nd, 2013, did one of your cleaners by the name of Donis Nunez approach you about something he had found?
Y el 22 de octubre, uno de sus trabajadores, Donis Núñez, se acercó a usted acerca de algo que él había encontrado.
Correcto.
Correct.
And approximately how long had you been at the school before Mr. Nunez approached you?
¿Y como cuánto tiempo tenía usted de estar en la escuela cuando el señor Núñez se acercó a usted?
Como 1 hora y media.
About an hour and a half.
As a result of what Mr. Nunez told you, did you go to a particular location in the school?
¿Ese baño en un pasillo?
Correcto.
Correct.
And when you approached the bathroom, the entrance to the bathroom from the hallway, did you notice anything?
Y cuando usted se acercó a la entrada del baño desde el pasillo, ¿notó usted algo?
Correcto.
Correct.
What did you
¿Qué
notice?
fue lo que usted notó?
Marca de pisada de sangre.
There were footsteps with blood.
And where did you see those footsteps?
¿Dónde vio usted esas pisadas?
En frente de la puerta.
In front of the door.
Did you notice anything else on the outside of that door?
¿Notó usted algo más en la parte de afuera de la puerta?
No.
No.
What did you do at that point?
¿Qué hizo usted en ese momento?
Me dirigí a la oficina de la escuela.
I went to the office in the school.
Did you enter the bathroom before going to the office in the school?
¿Entró usted al baño antes de dirigirse a la
Correcto.
oficina? Correct.
And was anybody with you when you entered that bathroom?
¿Había alguien con usted cuando usted entró al baño?
El mismo muchacho que me dijo.
The same man that had told me.
So Mr. Nunez was with you?
El señor Núñez estaba con usted.
Sí.
Yes.
And when you opened up the door to that bathroom, can you describe to the jurors what you saw?
Cuando usted abrió la puerta a ese baño, ¿podría usted escribirle al jurado qué fue lo que usted vio?
Sangre.
Blood.
Where did you see the blood?
¿Dónde vio usted la sangre?
Desde la puerta de entrada hasta el final de la pared.
From the entry through the door until the end to the wall.
And where was the blood? Ask you this. Was the blood located on the floor of the entryway to the back?
¿Estaba la sangre en el suelo desde la entrada hasta la parte de atrás?
Correcto.
Correct.
And did you notice any other blood when you first entered on the walls or any other location besides the floor?
¿Notó usted sangre en algún otro lugar aparte del suelo?
Solo en la puerta de entrada y en la pared, salpicadura.
At the entry, at the door, and some splashes.
You saw some splashes at the entry to the door?
¿Usted vio las salpicaduras en la entrada de la puerta?
Después de la puerta en la pared.
After the door on the wall.
May I approach this witness, Your Honor?
Sure.
Mr. Pimentel, I'd ask you to take a look at that photograph.
Señor Pimentel,
Look
quiero
up
que
when you're done.
mire esta fotografía y que me mire cuando ya la vio.
Okay.
Do you recognize what is depicted in that photograph?
¿Reconoce usted qué es lo que hay en esa fotografía?
Correcto.
And
Correct.
what do you recognize that photograph
¿De
to
qué
be?
es esa foto?
Del baño.
Of the bathroom.
Is that the bathroom that you've been describing that you went up and looked into?
¿Este es el baño que usted describe que usted entró a ver?
Correcto.
Correct.
And other than the fact that that photograph does not contain any blood in it, on the floor and has those yellow markers is how the bathroom is situated, the same as it was on October 22nd, 2013.
Aparte de que esa fotografía no tiene la sangre en el piso, es esa una representación de cómo era el baño cuando usted lo vio ese día?
Correcto.
Correct.
I'd ask that that be marked as the
Quiero
next
que sea
exhibit.
esto marcado.
Which witness is this? Mr. Hoffman?
No objection.
Thank you. Committed.
Exhibit 56.
Es la declaración 26.
May I have permission to publish it, Ray?
Sure.
Van a proyectar la foto.
Mr. Pimentel, there is a pointer here.
Señor, este es un puntero.
Ok.
You can use this green button
Este botón
and
verde
point out on
usted
this
puede
photograph
señalar en la fotografía
where it is that you saw the blood
donde
when
es
you
que usted vio
entered.
la sangre cuando entró.
Desde aquí
From here
hasta acá.
to there.
And where you first pointed, is that right where you step into the bathroom?
Donde usted señaló de primero es ahí justo donde usted entra al baño.
Desde la puerta que está más para acá.
The door is a little further this way.
Okay. And the blood that you saw going down to the back, was it all in the same condition?
La sangre que usted vio que iba hacia atrás, ¿estaba toda en la misma condición?
Justo acá adentro
Inside here,
había más.
there was more.
Okay. And the area that you're pointing to, is that the area prior to the first stall?
El área que usted está apuntando es el área que está antes del primer cubículo.
Desde el primero había mucho acá.
There was a lot
y en
in
los
this
otros
spot
cubículos.
and in the other cubicles.
Okay. So when you're pointing to the right-hand side, are you pointing
Cuando usted
to
está
inside the
señalando a la
stall?
derecha, está señalando adentro de un cubículo de baño.
Dentro de cada cubículo.
Inside each of the stalls.
Okay. And how many stalls were in that
¿Y
bathroom?
cuántos cubículos hay en ese baño?
No los recuerdo ahora mismo.
I don't recall.
Okay. And looking at this photograph,
Viendo la
is it
fotografía,
fair to say that there are two regular-sized stalls and then the handicap stall in the back?
es justo decir que hay dos de tamaño normal y el de minusválidos está atrás.
Aparenta como 3 normal y el de minusválido.
I think there's 3 normal and the handicap.
And in that stall area, was there any one stall that you saw more blood in than the other?
Y en el área de los cubículos había uno que tenía más sangre que los demás.
No, los cubículos se veían igual en todo.
The stalls all had the same.
And I had asked you previously if the blood was all in the same condition. Do you understand that question?
Entiende mi pregunta cuando yo le pregunto si la sangre estaba todo en la misma condición.
Sí, estaba en la misma condición.
Yes, it was in the same condition.
Okay. Was some of the blood wet versus dry, or was it all the same?
Estaba alguna de las
What did you do upon seeing that when you walked in?
¿Qué hizo usted al ver eso cuando entró?
Me dirigí a la oficina de la escuela.
I went to the school office.
And where is the school office located?
¿Dónde está la escuela de la oficina?
Está camino a la cancha.
It's towards the field.
And what was your purpose in going to the field office?
¿Y cuál era su propósito de ir hacia la oficina de la
Informarle
cancha?
al encargado de la escuela.
To inform the person in charge of the school.
And do you recall who that was?
¿Se recuerda quién era esa persona?
Él no estaba en ese momento en esa área.
He was not in the area at that time.
Okay, so what did you do?
¿Y qué hizo usted?
Estaba el ayudante de él ahí.
His helper was there.
Okay, and did you speak to his helper?
¿Habló usted con el ayudante?
Correcto.
Correct.
And do you recall that person's name?
¿Se recuerda del nombre de esa persona?
Denny se llama.
Dennis.
And when you say you went to look for the head of the school, was this the head custodian?
Cuando usted dice que fue a buscar a la persona encargada, ¿se refiere al que el encargado de todos los empleados de limpieza?
El encargado de la ciudad de la escuela.
It's the person from the city that's in charge of the school.
Okay, and is that person in charge of cleaning the school as well?
Esa persona también está encargada de limpiar la escuela.
Pero para la ciudad.
But for the city.
Okay. And how many of those types of workers are you aware that Danvers High School has?
¿Y cuántos de esos tipos de trabajadores sabe usted que tiene la escuela de Danvers?
Solo en la tarde que yo trabajaba el supervisor y el ayudante.
In the afternoons when I worked, it was just the supervisor and his helper.
Okay. And do you recall the supervisor's name?
¿Se recuerda el nombre del supervisor?
Chuck se llama.
Chuck.
Okay. So Chuck and Danny were the two custodians that would be on during the shift that you and your cleaners would come to clean. Is that fair?
Chuck y Danny eran los dos empleados de dos empleadores de limpieza que estaban a cargo cuando usted llegaba.
Correcto.
Correct.
All right, could I see counsel on scheduling before we recess for the day, and the witness and the interpreter may step down?
Podemos irnos para allá.
We're a few days into the case to find out from them if we're ahead of schedule, on schedule, or behind schedule. You remember perhaps that I told you during impanelment, I check in with the jurors, and it was a little early to do the first couple of days. When I give you an estimate of whether we're ahead of schedule, on schedule, or behind schedule, I'm not giving you any promises. Things can change. And as we get further along, I'll start to be able to estimate how much we're ahead of schedule, on schedule, or behind schedule. At this point in time, the only thing I can tell you is that we're ahead of schedule. That's about all I can tell you right now. Do not discuss the case among yourselves with anybody else. Don't do any independent research concerning the case. Avoid any information from any source other than within the courtroom. And the jurors are excused until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Or 16,
I will.
okay.
All rise. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything further to do for the Honorable David Lowy, Justice of the Superior Court, now sitting at Salem, within and for this county of Essex at present, depart and give your attendance at this place Thursday morning next at 9 a.m. to which time and place the sitting of this court is now adjourned. Chris, if you will lead out and remember to leave your notebooks and mark the step.
I'm just going to look at it.